Welcome to Nasir Soft. In this video, we will discuss one of the Java main important concept, that is thread. Thread allow a program to operate more efficiently by doing multiple things at the same time without interrupting the main program. Okay, so basically it runs in the background for performing different tasks. The multi-threading is used for concurrent execution of two or more parts of a program for maximum CPU utilization. So this is very simple, but to understand about the thread, so let's imagine this picture. Okay, this is the racing game basically, and when you play a racing game, okay, in your main screen there are many things to doing. For example, when you play a racing game here, this is the speedometer that tells about your speed, and here this is if I say that this is the main program, and inside this main program this is one thread that is for telling me the speeds. Okay, the another thread is that tell me the how many distance you covered, and there are many other threads, and the thread are basically running in parallel execution. Okay, as to the whole screen it looks like a one program, and inside the program there are multiple threads. Okay, this example is just for the understanding purpose. Okay, so in real maybe something different. So let's check it practical, then you will learn it much better. So multi-threading, we already know that it is the concurrency execution of two or more parts of a program. Okay, so in the Java, we can include the thread by the two ways. The first is by extending the thread class, and the second is the implementing the runnable interface. Okay, so in this video, we will talk about the both. So let's first talk about the first one, that is extending by the thread class. Okay, main class, and here we create a class that name is, for example, multi-thread, and extends by the thread class, and the thread class is basically inside the java.lang.thread. Okay, and inside this class, that is my multi-thread class. Okay, so whenever the each thread is created, okay, so each thread have begin with the run, that is the by default function inside the thread class, that the method is run. Okay, so inside the run method, okay, so basically it is the life of each thread. Okay, whatever an thread is created, it goes inside all the states inside the run. Okay, so start from the run. Okay, so here, for example, inside the run, here we code something like, okay, and as we know that the threading is the basically the concurrency execution of two or more parts of a program at the same time. Okay, so inside the run, here I loop. Okay, I declare a loop, and inside this loop, for example, this is the uh, I, and start from the 0, and you will understand about this later. Okay, and less than equal to, for example, 5, and I plus plus. Okay, so 5 time run this loop and just show me the thread I name which is running. Okay, so here sys system out. Okay, here the thread and the thread name, so we can get the thread name by the, okay, thread class dot run thread method dot and show me the name. Okay, so get name method, so the thread name here, for example, some meaningful message is running, and what iteration is, we also know about the iteration, and the iteration, okay, so this is the iteration is iteration value is basically I. Okay, so you will understand about this later. Okay, so inside the run, whenever we create a thread, okay, inside the run this method will be basically the run, this code will be executed. And now comes to the main. Here we create the thread by this is a thread class, and by using the thread class, for example, create the object of a thread and name it, for example, t1. Okay, and extend it by your multi-thread class. Okay, so basically this is the first thread we create, and similarly we create three threads. Okay, for example, this another thread, that is t2, and third one is name value is 3 3. Okay, so basically we created the three thread, and by applying the each start method, for example start the first thread, so t1 dot start, and when we basically call the start method, it automatically invoke the run methods inside the thread class. Okay, so first we start the first thread, and it goes inside the run, and basically print out this 5 loop. Okay, so this is basically all the game about the thread, and you can understand it when I run the program. Okay, so first similarly, okay, run the second thread, and similarly for thread 2 dot start and thread 3 dot start method. So first start d1, then t2, then 3 3. Okay, so this is the beauty of thread. Okay, if I execute this, then you can understand it. So before executing the program, so let's clear the concept. Okay, so first when we start the t1 dot start call, okay, so thread 1, it means that run the thread 1. So basically it creates the it will basically print out this 5 times. Okay, and show me the each individual thread name. Okay, so this is basically the coding flow, but when we talk about the threads, then it basically it creates the first thread, and maybe inside this execution it goes to the flow to the second thread also. So basically in parallel execution, it will, in parallel processing, it will execute this program. Okay, if I execute this, okay, this is the output. If I enumerate the output, so basically if you understand this output, okay, so the first thread, thread 0, and each iteration is 5 times, so thread 0 is running 5 times. Okay, and this one, so it means that thread 0 completes its execution, then the thread 2 comes. Okay, the thread 3 comes, not 2. Okay, so basically we start from the 0, so therefore it, so thread 2 comes, and thread 2 only execute 1 2 and 3, only its 4 iteration. The one iteration of thread 2 is remaining, and then the third one is again the third one is comes, and it execute is all iteration, and then the remaining one iteration of thread 2 is basically running at the last. So this is the beauty of thread. So and so threads basically are for the parallel processing. As you see that the thread 2, so still remaining is execution, and it's completed its execution at the last of the program. So okay, so basically this is not the order of the thread execution matters in this program, and this is for the parallel processing. So at the same time, two different threads were processed parallel. Okay, so this is the beauty of threads. So hope you can understand about this example. So now what about if we want order in order execution? For example, if you deal some bank data, and in your transaction there is an order matters. Okay, for example, first if someone withdraw the money, then the amount should be deducted. Okay, if we use the threading, multi-threading concept in the bank application, then on the parallel processing there will create some issues, like if someone withdraw some money, and and then add some money, and first the add thread is run, and then the withdraw thread, and there should be the difference between the balance. Okay, so what about if we want the order of execution in the thread? So this is very simple. So in order to use the threads in order, or if I can say that to prevent the concurrency problem, we can use the is alive keyword. Okay, for example, if here is the something less the loop, okay, 3. Okay, so just 4 times this loop, and we have here we can write this check that while here after which thread we started. Okay, for example, while the third one dot is a live method. Okay, it means that we are inside the loop until the thread t1 is alive. So here we can do anything, okay, until the t1 is alive. So hope you can understand about this problem. Okay, so now let's implement the thread by the second method, and that is the by implementing the runnable interface. We create the thread by extends the thread main class. Okay, so why there is need to run to implement the runnable for creating the thread? Okay, so this is basically if we extend the thread class, okay, as we do here, our class cannot extend any other class. So basically Java does not support the multiple inheritance. Okay, so for this, so if we implement the runnable interface, then we have option, okay, for extends and to any other class. Okay, for example, if we extends to any class, okay, here I can implements the runnable. Okay, so and I have the option for extending any other base class. For example, if we implement the runnable interface by for creating the threads. Okay, so this is the beauty of implements the runnable. Okay, so for his I delete this one, and now I will create the thread by implements the runnable, okay, thread class. And obviously we have a run function on this. And similarly, for creating an object, now here if I delete this one, now here if I create the object of the thread, okay, and name it, for example, t1, and that is equal to new thread, and inside parentheses, okay, our main, that is multi-thread class name. Here this is new, and that's this class. Okay, so we create the thread 1. Similarly, we create other two threads, t2 and t3. And similarly, we basically uh, start method, we invoke the run method, okay, for t2 and t3. So this is how you can create the threads by implements the runnable. If I again execute this program, here you can see that everything is perfectly run. Okay, so first the thread 0, 0 iteration is the thread 1, 0 iteration is comes, then 1 iteration, and then 2 iteration, and then the similar thread 2, 1 and 2 at 3 iteration, and then the thread 3 iteration will comes. So here how you can implement the threads by the runnable implements the runnable interface. So this is how you can implement the threads in Java. So hope this video will help you a lot. If you have any question regarding to this topic, you can email me. Email is mentioned in video description, or you can comment inside the video comment section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Stay blessed. Have a nice day.